Imagine a land so difficult to control that some of the greatest empires in history tried to conquer it and failed. From ancient warriors to modern superpowers, many armies entered this land with confidence, but almost all of them left in defeat. This country has challenged conquerors for more than 2,000 years, and that country is Afghanistan, often called the graveyard of empires. But why has Afghanistan been so impossible to control? To understand that, we have to go back thousands of years. Ancient Afghanistan. Afghanistan has always stood at the crossroads of civilizations. Located between the Middle East, Central Asia, South Asia, and China, it became a key route for trade, culture, and conquest. In 330 BC, the legendary conqueror Alexander the Great marched into the region after defeating the powerful Persian Empire. But even Alexander, who conquered vast territories across 3 continents, faced fierce resistance from local tribes. The rugged mountains, narrow valleys, and scattered tribal societies made it extremely difficult for any army to control the land. Even after Alexander's victory, maintaining control proved nearly impossible, and this pattern would repeat again and again throughout history. The Silk Road era. For centuries, Afghanistan became a vital part of the famous Silk Road. Merchants traveled through the region carrying silk, spices, precious stones, and ideas between Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Cities in Afghanistan became vibrant centers of trade and culture. But its strategic location also meant constant invasions. Different empires tried to dominate the region, hoping to control the flow of trade and power. Yet controlling Afghanistan was never easy. The mountains protected local communities, and tribal loyalties remained stronger than foreign rule. The birth of modern Afghanistan. In the 18th century, a powerful leader changed the history of the region. His name was Ahmad Shah Durrani. In 1747, he united many Afghan tribes and founded the Durrani Empire. This empire stretched across large parts of modern Afghanistan, Pakistan, Iran, and India. Because of this achievement, Ahmad Shah Durrani is often called the founder of modern Afghanistan. But even after the creation of this empire, Afghanistan remained a region where power was difficult to centralize. Tribal structures and rugged geography continued to shape the country's destiny. The British Empire arrived. During the 19th century, Afghanistan became the center of a major geopolitical rivalry. The powerful British Empire feared that its rival, the Russian Empire, might expand toward India. This strategic competition became known as the Great Game. To secure its influence, Britain attempted to control Afghanistan. This led to a series of brutal conflicts known as the Anglo-Afghan Wars. Despite its global power, the British Empire struggled immensely in Afghanistan. Afghan fighters used the terrain and local knowledge to their advantage. Eventually, Britain accepted that Afghanistan would remain independent. Another empire had failed. The Soviet invasion. Nearly a century later, another superpower made the same mistake. In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan to support a friendly government. What followed was the devastating Soviet-Afghan War. Afghan resistance fighters, known as the Mujahideen, launched a determined guerrilla campaign. The war lasted almost 10 years and became extremely costly for the Soviet Union. Mountains once again turned into natural fortresses for local fighters. In 1989, Soviet forces finally withdrew. Another powerful empire had been forced to retreat. The rise of the Taliban. After the Soviet withdrawal, Afghanistan descended into years of civil war. Different factions fought for control of the country. In the mid-1990s, a new movement emerged. This group was known as the Taliban. By 1996, they had taken control of most of Afghanistan and established their rule. Their government quickly drew global attention and controversy. But Afghanistan's story of conflict was far from over. America's longest war. Everything changed after the tragic September 11th attacks in the United States. In response, the United States launched the war in Afghanistan 2001 to 2021. The goal was to dismantle terrorist networks and remove the Taliban from power. Initially, the Taliban government collapsed quickly, but the conflict soon turned into a long and complicated war. For 20 years, international forces remained in Afghanistan. Despite massive military resources, lasting stability proved extremely difficult to achieve. In 2021, U.S. troops finally withdrew, and once again, the Taliban returned to power. Conclusion. For centuries, Afghanistan has stood at the crossroads of empires. From ancient conquerors to modern superpowers, many have tried to control this land. But its geography, tribal traditions, and fierce independence have made it one of the most difficult places on Earth to dominate. That is why many historians still call it the graveyard of empires. And now the question is, will Afghanistan finally find lasting stability? Or will history repeat itself once again? If you enjoy learning about world history and geopolitics, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. And tell me in the comments, do you think Afghanistan will ever become stable?